Let's look at a few things that we could do to improve this. Let's think about where could things go wrong? What are the scenarios that are likely to happen? Let's think about what if. Let's start with the get household subflow. Let's look at a couple of things in here. We have get party relationship groups. What if this element does not return anything? It does not return party relationship groups. What should happen in that case? Maybe there is, if we didn't find party relationship groups, then there is no need to perform another query. That's going to save us some time. There is no point searching for a household if there is no party relationship group, unless you have some different structure. Every household should have a party relationship group to specify and to categorize it as a household. But if there is a household without a party relationship group, then you must have some other way to identify that as a household. In the use case that we're using, then there is no need for us to perform the second query. What else could happen? If there is no party relationship group, then there is no need to add the existing collection to the display collection. We can skip this element as well. While these things are small, they could save some time, especially if the logic, if there is more logic, if there is more operations that are being performed. It's going to save some of the resources like the SOQL resources and then the DML resources, things like this. So let's attempt that for a second. Let's say that we didn't find any party relationship groups. So let's say, did we ask the question, found party relationship groups? Let's say yes or no. And how do we know that we found a party relationship group or not? We're gonna check against get household party relationship groups from get party relationship group. This is the second one. This is what we need to look at. And then we're gonna use this new operator is empty and then false. If it's not empty, there is something, there are records, means we found some records. Okay. If we find something, then that's fine. Let's keep going. But if we don't find anything, then let's just end it right away. We also need to send that to the parent. We need to send this piece of information to the parent flow that we didn't find party relationship group. To do that, I'm going to send this as a checkbox that says found party relationship group. And that's going to be true if there is a value, and if it's going to be false if there is no value. Let's create this new Boolean variable. This is a Boolean variable underscore found party relationship group. This is a Boolean. Let's set the default value to true. Or you know what? Let's not do that. Let's just keep it like this, and then make it available for output because we're sending it to the parent. And let's do this. Let's here assign found. Let's assign true to found party relationship. How do we name this properly? Let's just like name it like this. I want to think about the naming, but I don't want to spend any more time on this. So let's say this is true, and then I'll just set this, copy this here and set it here to false. Assign false to. All right, did we find party relationship group? Yes, then send it to the parent that we found party relationship group. If we didn't, then set it to false. Okay, this is good. Let's save this as a new version and activate the new version. Now, if we go to the parent, let's refresh. And if I go to this get households and then check this, I see that other value in here. I found a party relationship group or not. Maybe I should have added the S groups at the end. Okay, that's good. Now let's add a decision element here as well. If we didn't find any party relationship groups, then there is no need to add it to a collection. So we can add this decision here. and ask the same question. Found party relationship group. I used without S as well to show you one thing. One other benefit of using subflows is that I already used this API name in the subflow. Now I can use it again in the parent flow because it's not used before in the parent flow. But if we had these two in the same flow, then we'll have to give it a different name. Let's say yes, and then yes, we found party relationship groups, and then this is no. How do you know that we found one? If the output from get households Boolean variable found yes. If it is true, it means we found party relationship group. If we found one, then we can go ahead and add those households to the collection. If not, then there is no need to do that step. In the subflow, there was the other get element where we get the actual households. They typically go together. Like if there is a household, there is a party relationship group for it. If there is a party relationship group for a household, it's required to have an account on that record. That's why I may not add it. But if we could think of a reason to that this may go wrong, or it's generally good that you add a decision element, even if it's a very rare edge case scenario, then it's generally good to add that decision element, but it doesn't we don't necessarily have to do that. We can just skip that part for now. Let's see where else things could change. Let's look at, we could repeat the same thing for every one of those, like get business account tracker type. I could add a decision after that to see if we actually found one or not. Same thing with get programs, almost every get element. Let's just skip all of these and look at the DML instead, the create elements. Before we create households, I may want to check if there is actually something to be created. So right now here, we are creating this collection. Create the record collection variable new households. What if, like for whatever reason, things went wrong prior to this, and this collection is actually empty, and we don't want the flow to crash, and instead maybe display something like, a message to the user. Let's add a decision here to check if this collection already has something. Let's say found, or let's say got new households to create. I like putting things in a yes no question format. Yes or no. How do you know that we got some households to create? I'll check against this collection. Is it empty or not? If it's not empty, meaning it does have records. So if we have records to create, then we can go ahead and create them. But if not, then potentially display some screen where we display a message, fix something, take the user back, anything that may be helpful. Let's take this chance to show you a nice trick to use. Let's connect this element here back to that screen, new household screen. And then we're gonna display some error message to the user, maybe prompt them to try again or something. So let's add here on this screen a display text right up top here above the repeater component. Let's say display text error message. We need this error message to say try again. You might want to think of something more meaningful and helpful to the user than this. Let's just make it red to just mimic the validation behavior. And we need this message to only show up if the create, like before the create element, where the decision is checking that there is no households and then take that user back. So we're gonna set the component visibility to check, let me cancel this for a second. I'm gonna go into this decision element and I will copy this outcome API name. If this outcome is met, where it's yes, then, or it's not met, it's false, then this display message should show up. So let's go here, and I didn't save, oh god, goodness. Display text underscore error, and and then try again. Let's select just anything very quickly and then set component visibility here. Now I can access this. Yes, got new households to create. Value equals false, meaning it was not met. Then this would show up. And then they can try again. And then when they try again, it's going to go through this. And then if it is true, then it's just going to go ahead and perform the create. We could add a decision element before every create and before and after every get. And if we have delete, then we also need to use that before delete. And similarly, if we're going to update, we might want to use a decision element before update. Adding these decision elements are going to help us when you read the debug logs to know which path the flow took. It's going to give you information about what went wrong, when it went wrong, and you could use it to add display screens and error messages that help the user or help you troubleshoot the error and fix it.